This is a response video from pcolagregg, the definition of conspiracy. Thanks for posting that video. I think that's probably what is causing most of the chaos that's going on a global basis. And a conspiracy theorist is just two words that are put together and used to say we don't want to deal with this problem. There has been a conspiracy theory behind every problem that we're experiencing on a global scale. It's a conspiracy between more than one person to gain an end result. This is something that's been going on throughout history. And for even just my own personal experience, it's, to say that our justice system is corrupt is no, that's in our faces. I mean, look at how many of these Law and Order, any type of crime show shows you what is going on, that a lot of people have to plead guilty to a crime, otherwise they're threatened with massive jail time for something that they never committed. You have to agree to be a criminal even though you're innocent, just because of the legal pressures that are put on you. I mean, they put that in TV shows. That's not that far from real life. And that's been my experience, is our justice systems can't tell the difference between right or wrong. I know for a fact here in Canada, my ex didn't have to pay his income tax because they have cost effective rules in our government system. If it's not cost effective for our government to investigate, then they don't. And a lot of people, to get out of paying your taxes, all you have to do is make it a lot more expensive for them to find the money. And if you make it too complicated for them, then they have a cost effective rule that says we're not going to spend more money to find, like it's got to be worth their expense. And every aspect of government has this cost effective rule. So to say things are screwed up because we don't want to face problems is a reality we don't want to face, and because we don't want to face it, we're going to say it's a conspiracy theory. But our corporations, all of them have cost-effective rules. All of them are tied to media. They use media. That's where they market all of their concepts. That's where they manipulate the masses to believe whatever story they want you to believe in. That's where the propaganda starts. That's where you develop your belief systems, is through the media. Don't think that these guys don't control the media. They pay for it. The only way you can get anything in a newspaper is if you own all of the marketing rights. There's blocks of advertising that they sell. You own those blocks of advertising, and you control what everybody thinks about. So it's, who's owning all of that ad space is who's owning the newspapers. And they are the ones that are dictating what types of stories that we hear from. So right there is a conspiracy, is the corporate world controls what news we get to hear about. That's a fact. It's not a conspiracy. It's good business as far as we're concerned. So I think this big shift that we need to make is, like, let's get rid of the word conspiracy theory. Let's talk turkey and say if you add 1 plus 1, you're gonna get 2. And BP oil, there's no conspiracy theory going on. There is plain fact. There's like a shitload of poison in there. A big oil company is responsible for it. They don't want to pay for it, so they're going to do everything to cover up their asses. Anybody who's in power that ain't doing shit is, making money off of this disaster one way or another. I've seen some insane politicians want them to be still drilling oil, even though after history we've proven beyond a doubt that humanity can't do it right. At some point in time, you gotta make the decision that we don't know how to do this, so we can't do it. We cannot design government laws and regulations to keep our corporate world um, moral to do what's right for humanity. It's all about money and making the highest dollar at whatever cost. And as long as we have this, uh, this is how the Mayans used to think too, is, you got to sacrifice the few for the greater good. And that's how the corporate world looks at it, is that a lot of people have to be, killed, accepted death for every product that we sell. Um, Death rate is part of business, and that's why if you form a corporation, you can kill as many people as you want in whatever way you want and get away with it. If you're not a corporation, then apparently it's against the law. But the same crimes that one person that doesn't have a lot of money cannot get away with, the same crimes that somebody that has a lot of money. Money pays for the ability to do whatever the hell you want. And if you have no money, you could go to jail and you didn't even have to cause any crime. You can't afford a justice system. You can't afford to speak. You can't afford to present any evidence. That's a fact. So the BP oil is definitely intentional to destroy that Gulf. They don't really give a shit about the Gulf. They don't give a shit about the animals that are being killed, all of the fish and the wildlife. They don't care about whether the fish is toxic and is going to be put out into the food chain. I mean, just for them to say that fishing is safe and everybody should be eating fish means that's the level that your government doesn't give a shit about how many people are eating toxic poison. That's not a conspiracy. That's a fact. That's in your face. It's not a conspiracy that the media doesn't want you to hear some things. There's a fact. Otherwise, they'd be in there like dirty shirts saying something, but they're not, because they don't want you to know. There's a reason why you get fined if you are the one that is saying too much. There's a reason why if you bury down and dig a hole in the beach, you'll still see oil there, because they have no intention to clean it up. What drives me crazy is a lot of people that are in the Gulf still believe that there's a justice system that, oh, we'll sue them, we'll just get a lawyer and make BP responsible. Where in history have you ever proven that you can beat out a corporation? You cannot. There will not be one politician, there will not be one lawyer, there will be nobody that's going to fix this problem. No time in history has this ever happened. They freaking took over natives. They took over African American people and made them slaves. Like, you think that the very organization that made all of this possible is now going to say, oops, we didn't mean to do that? No, they get paid to do this. They're not about to be a system in place for you to take advantage of them. It's there for them to take advantage of you. So if you want to fix any of these problems, you got to kind of develop your own little system. You have to develop a network of people that are on the same page, that see the same systems that are going on that are eventually going to hurt everybody. Um, there's lots of opportunity. We need to clean up an awful lot of area. There's a lot of people that are going to get sick. There's a lot about healthcare that we're not being informed about. Our food source is being damaged. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to fix our food sources. There's a lot of work to be done. And The only way you're going to do any of that work is if these people that are out there to do harm to you pay you to do the work. Or do we start forming together and, just accept some facts that nobody's going to be out there to save you? You got to save yourself. So it's like, okay, what do we do? How do we organize? How do we clean up our own area and gain global support in doing something like that? This is affecting our entire globe. It's not just BP. It's we all need to collect um, locally, and all of the problems that are going on in the Gulf is exactly what's going on in our own neighborhoods. And a lot of people need a good direction, a good leader within your own community, and that will unfold change. We need to just get our power back, and it's not as hard. It's we got to just have that first step. Peace out.